So a lot of people ask us why we use accommodating resistance. What is accommodating resistance? Bands or chains are what we use for accommodating resistance. So with accommodating resistance with bands, we have bands from the bottom. So we'll literally hook these underneath the rig or underneath the dumbbell up onto the bar. Or we'll have a lightened method, reverse bands, where we have bands hang down from the top onto the bar. Then we also drape chain, which you'll see right here with the leader chain and full chain on the ground as well. What accommodating resistance is this? Physics has proven and shown us that as we increase our leverage, our body decreases the amount of force we produce. So think about when you've done a squat for say 8 reps, the bottom in the hole feels the hardest. As you come up, it feels easier and easier and easier. As your leverage increases, your body produces less force. So what we do is we use band or chain weight to offset the leverage improvement. This makes our body produce the highest level of force all the way through the range of motion. So we're producing more force at the end. When we talk about building an athlete, we talk about core to extremity acceleration, but you cannot optimize core to extremity acceleration without the use of accommodating resistance because of this fact that your body produces less force as your leverage improves, okay? So we use these different types of bands. This is what we call a micro band. This one right here is a mini band. This is called a monster mini. This is a light band, an average, and a strong band. Depending on the type of strength and type of movement you do, we'll use one of these bands or chains. Now, the bands to the bottom have a property that no other bands have. They have what they call an overspeed eccentric. The band is constantly pulling down on you. On your negative phase of your lift, you will store greater amounts of kinetic energy, which will transfer to a greater reversal speed, which is extremely important in sport. This teaches and trains your body to store greater amounts of kinetic energy, okay? It helps with tendon thickness. It's a great way to train your tendons and to increase your speed. So this is some of the reasons why we use accommodating resistance. Some of the other benefits to accommodating resistance is when you're in your weakest leverage position, your highest chance of injury, the tension and weight's at its lightest. Think if I was doing a good morning and I put a band around my neck underneath my feet, as I bend over and go farther, the band shrinks, gets smaller, less tension. When I'm in my most vulnerable position at the bottom, the weight's at its lightest. As I start to stand up and get into stronger, safer positions, the band gets stronger. So for people with shoulder issues, when we're using accommodating resistance, at the bottom in the bench press, the weight's at its lightest and it gets heavier as you come up. So it helps us work through injuries and around injuries and gives us the ability to push harder sometimes while we have irritations that we're dealing with as well. So this is an invaluable tool for us. If you want to get as much speed as possible out of yourself, as much power, if you want to optimize core to extremity acceleration, which if you're an athlete, that is mandatory, you can't optimize it without this.